Welcome to the Impact Revolution. Thank you so much for coming. How are you doing?
Hi, Yoshi. I'm fine. Thanks for the invitation. I'm very
Yes,
excited about this podcast.
this is, this is the first time I have an interview with a guest from Germany, from Europe, in Fortaleza, in different places. So it's a
Right.
big pleasure having you.
What a
I'm meeting you in
coincidence.
person. Yeah, what a coincidence. Thank you for making time for this and for the other day. So, Bernhard, as we normally start, I would like to ask you a couple of questions that are a bit personal, so everybody and the audience knows you a bit better. And then later we can go to the more professional business related questions.
Okay,
Okay,
sounds
cool.
great.
All right, so Bernhard, you are in Fortaleza. I don't know if you like it or not. I love it. But if you could wake up anywhere in the world tomorrow, what it would be and why?
Well, that is a very interesting question. So, that you know me a little bit better, I have
Uh-huh.
some problems with places
Okay.
because I always very happy at the place where I am. So I don't
All
want to
right.
leave places where I am.
Uh-huh.
For many reasons, I have to leave them once in a while. I travel a lot. I like traveling a lot. But when I have to leave a place, I say, oh, it would be great to stay a little bit longer, to get it know better, to get more places, to meet more people. And as soon as I left and I arrive at a new place, I say, oh, it's great here. So, and then it starts over again. So if you ask me where I would like to get up tomorrow, it's here in Fortaleza.
All right, very good. That's nice. That's nice. I'm sure you will wake up then. All
I'm
right.
always happy where I am and what I'm doing. This is very important in my life. Once I decided not to be unhappy in a situation for too long. So,
That's a good mindset. Very good, Vera. Thank you. So now I wanted to ask you, if you had all the money, Bernhard, in the world, what would you do?
I guess I would found a foundation to do intelligent charity, to help people
Uh-huh.
to use their chances, to use their potential. That means invest in people who cannot afford education. I guess education is the best developing and charity work you can do.
Hmm.
Everything works with education. So I would start building schools and hiring teachers for people who have not the chance to get to good schools. And there
Hmm.
are so many. You cannot save the world, even if I had, I don't know how much money you think I could have. But I guess this is a very important mission I have, to
Uh-huh.
to give people chances. You cannot save everybody, and I don't think it's good to give subsidies. Of course, they need money to survive while they do education.
Hmm.
But the best supporting work is encouraging and enabling people to do their own living and to develop their abilities, their talents, to do what they're really meant to do.
Totally, I agree that education and giving opportunities to the people in need.
And
Thank
also,
you,
I'm
Bernhard.
I'm 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 a
Yes.
finance guy. I'm an investor, and you cannot get a better return on investment than in education. You know that?
Ah, yeah, yeah, I
So
know
there are
it.
two things. There are two things which is very important. The return on investment is 7x when you invest in education, either in your own or in somebody else education. And the great thing about knowledge is if you share it, it doubles. That's a fantastic thing. Normally, if you have
Oh,
a bar of chocolate and you share it, you have half of it. But if you share knowledge, it doubles. Isn't that great?
that's good. That's good. Yeah, I can use it for my marketing material for sure.
Exactly,
I have it
exactly.
already. The ROI, I have
There are
it.
several numbers, but whatever, it doesn't matter. It's very, very productive and very
uh,
profitable to share
Definitely.
knowledge.
I agree totally. I'm glad that we have a similar mindset on that, Bernhard.
Like the
I
question.
was, yes, I asked you this question in purpose because of your financial expertise, right? And the CEO of the different positions that you have. So I was wondering, why do you do what you do, Bernhard?
As I said, I decided not to do something I don't like, and I'm really passionate about it. I'm very happy that I have some talents. I have the talent, some talent for numbers. I'm not a number cruncher, so I'm not a mathematic, but I like numbers. I like precise information. I like figuring out things. and I have also an ability to communicate. I like people. I love to communicate with people. I love to work in teams. So in finance, you can combine this. Yeah. So as a CFO, you have to manage the numbers. You have to interpret the numbers. You not necessarily have to crunch the numbers in large amounts, and you have to communicate. You have to manage. You have to be part of the managing process and also of the leading process. So I mean, with that, I had a conversation day before yesterday with a private equity fund manager, and we talked about how to communicate numbers to people which are not so passionate about numbers, for artists or even engineers, journalists, and it's always important to transport and to explain numbers, why we have to do this or that, why we have to save money, or why we have to invest, or why we have to whatever change in their work conditions to be more competitive, or be more productive, and where we are financially. Yeah? Because at the end, this is what I learned. It's not only about money, but without money, it's getting tough in a company. When you run out of money, you run out of business, and you lose the jobs. So this is what I like to combine, and this is my passion, to combine the performance of a company in numbers. It's measured in numbers, but to interpret it and to explain it. This is my part of a management process. This is the role I really love to play in that management team.
Okay, very good, Bernhard. I'm very curious to know a bit more. I started this Impact Revolution channel as to define the business mindset. So we don't focus just on the economical part, but as you say, without money there is no company, and the company struggles, and maybe there is tough decisions or struggles that they have to overcome. So, what did you find out that is the best balance? And to have a sustainable business that focus on employees, focus on culture, on values and purpose, as well as having the financials covered.
Well, a good business is, at first place, it's about talented and passionate people. Yeah? You cannot run a company with money alone. And, I mean, banks do kind of this, and investors, but at the end, only money is not productive, right? I mean, it's only people are productive. People who change the world, who invent things, who produce things. This is where added value is created and where wealth is created. So money is only an enabler. It's only an enabler. But it has to be together, and money needs to be managed in a way that you keep the company stable. That means that you can create an environment where the people know that they get their salary tomorrow, that we have enough money to invest in the future, and to give them the freedom to do the job they can do. So, for example, if you have an engineering company, a software company, you have great engineers, yeah. But if they have to be afraid that they don't get their money next month, or the company will be bankrupt in 6 months, they're probably gonna leave, yeah. So you have to create an environment where they can do their best job. It's like, sometimes I explain it like yourself or everybody of us. If we are afraid we cannot pay our rent, we get excited, right? I mean, we get worried. Yeah,
Yeah, stress.
so finance, I always explain it also in that way. When I meet new people who join the company, I say, maybe we will not meet again, but you will get greetings every month from us. Yeah, you get your salary, your paycheck. Yeah, and we have to. Our job is to make the company stable, to make it able to master the future, and also to create processes that make your life easy, enable you to do your job in the best way you can do. Not worry about processes and.
Very good. Yeah, Bernhard. Thank you so much. It's very interesting. I was wondering, in terms of financials, right? What do you think is the best investment a company can make, in any stage, we'll say?
It's investment. I come back to what I said. I guess it's in people. There's no success without genius and passionate and experienced and talented people. So investment in people is the best. This starts with choosing the people. So don't settle for less when you have the impression when you're in an interview and you think, oh, I'm not sure that person fits into the company or is experienced enough. Don't do it. Look at the potential. Not everybody has to be really a genius at the moment and experienced and educated to the top. But look at the potential. You can hire young people. They have a lot of things to learn. But if the potential is great, then hire them. But if you doubt it, that the people have the talent and the passion, especially the passion, then just leave it. Don't do it. And when you have onboarded them, then make sure that they can unfold their talents. That means create an environment of creativity, challenge them, force them to really to give their best. This is important. I don't think that how can I say, satisfied people are the best people, because they tend to stay in their comfort zone. So we have to create also a challenging environment, also with some competition between the people. I guess competition is good, and always to bring them to the best work. The second thing, and this is very important, you have to invest in IT. I guess it's always necessary to have the best, not only IT, but IT and machinery. You have to keep up with the technological development. So if your machinery becomes old and unproductive and competitors have better equipment, better information, better IT systems, slimmer, leaner processes, then you will lag behind.
It makes sense, yeah, like the tools, right? And this is also linked with this environment, right, that you want to create for your employees to be productive and to be fluid and
if you want to
effortless.
have a delivery service and you have horse carriages, you're not going to succeed, right?
I love that example, Bernhard. Very good. All right. What other lessons learned throughout your experience would you like to share, Bernhard, that are impactful for running businesses sustainably?
So more in personal regard or in professional business regard?
Professional or personal, as you want.
Well, we can do both. Personal regards, I think I learned that I have seen some tough times. I've been in very tough situations, economically difficult situations. Sometimes you make mistakes, you take wrong decisions, and then people, I guess, from our nature, we have several options to react on problems. We can run away, we can hide, or we can fight. Yeah. So this is what our nature back in time before Stone Age give us. If we see a bear or enemy or whatever comes across, then we have these three options. I'm not a very good runner. I'm not a good hider. So normally I got the experience to be active. That's the best. It doesn't mean fighting, but being active. Face the challenge, think about solutions. And also, which is important, and this is maybe a fourth option or the 3.5 option, is get support. Look around who can support you, what support you need. That could be lawyers, that could be accountants, that could be managers, mentors, coaches, resources, whatever you need to get over that problem. So this is my credo for tough situations. And self-confidence that you're going to find a solution. Professionally, I learned that, well, Yoshi, a CFO is a link between visions and reality. I just read that in a couple of end of September, the biography of Elon Musk is going to be published. And Elon Musk is a very good example for really visionary entrepreneurs, right? I mean, he wants to go to Mars. He had this SpaceX vision, and I don't know how many initiatives. And this is good. This is great. I love working with people like this. Even that I guess was working with Elon Musk is very complicated because his visions are so big. Yeah, but you see what wealth he created and what great companies he created. But I bet behind Elon Musk also there are a lot of people who take care that the money is invested in a good way. Yeah, and I heard about the story of SpaceX, and they really ran out of money. They had only one chance, one try to start this rocket to prove that the concept works, and then the money would have been gone. So a CFO is a link between entrepreneurial visions and not following really crazy things that never going to happen, or also to provide the money, if you have as much money as, for example, Elon Musk for sure has, to make these visions really happen.
Beautiful, yeah. Thank you so much. It makes sense. Yeah, it's not too much dreams. Like dreams are good, and high visions are the motto. However, we need to have our feet on the earth, right?
Yeah, if you think about a great leader, a great leader that stands in front of his crew and he fascinates the crew, he paints the vision in a better world. They can reach these people emotionally. This is super important because people work for a mission. Yeah, you can encourage them to work for a mission. It's not at the end, it's not for money. Of course, we all need money, but if you want to really have the full power of a person, you need really to enlighten them and to encourage them and to show them the mission, what they are working for, right? To get to the Mars. That's much better than to invent whatever small screw in the rocket. Yeah?
Yes.
So you have to have the full picture. But then at the end, the leader needs people to organize that, right? To provide the means to get step by step in direction to make this vision reality.
Sure. Very good. Yeah, no, that was superb. I wanted to ask, in terms of, or crisis that you mentioned on a personal level, is when you face challenges and talk about getting support. I was wondering if you have any example, because I thought it would be nice. If you have any example, a particular example that you think, like a way of asking for advice or something, or getting support, from other people.
Oh yes, of course. I'm around for a couple of years. I was a young professional when the .com bubble imploded in 2002, 2003. I had the financial crisis in 2008, and I survived Corona crisis. So at least 3 crises. And
good for you. You are more resilient now.
So in my job, crisis is always also linked with financial stuff, with legal stuff most of the time. Yeah, you have financial problems. You run out of money, or you have to cut costs, or you have a contract which is bad. So most of the time, I got advice and support from auditors and lawyers. So, and also and this is really important, if you are lucky enough that you have a good boss or you have a good shareholder. You don't need necessarily a boss, but I'm a manager, I'm not a company owner. And normally I work for companies that have shareholders. So this is also good. Getting advice is not always getting advice what you should do. It's also like having a sparring partner, a team, to figure out what is the best way. And even the advice can be the team. The team is the best advice giver. Ask the team, ask your team. Nobody expects that you know everything. Yeah.
Sure.
And if you're open, if you're authentic, if you tell the people, guys, we face this or that challenge. What would you do? What is your advice? What's your advice? What is your opinion? Then this helps. The problem starts if you think you stay in your office or wherever you work and you think you have to figure out the solution, come out of the sun with the only solution. That's not going to work. So ask people, no matter whom, in your environment. You can ask your kids, you can ask your partner, you can ask your dads, your parents. So
Sure.
this is very individual.
Totally, totally. I was thinking, in terms of business, Bernhard, what was the biggest challenge or the challenge or your favorite challenge, basically, that taught you the most, that you learned the most?
The biggest challenge in my professional life.
Yeah. Yeah, because there has to be rough times. You talk about the crises that you have faced, that you have to, maybe use resources and also ask for advice. So I was wondering, which is your favorite or your biggest one, and which was, what did you learn from it?
Well, I guess the most important challenge I had when I was a young professional.
Okay.
I was very inexperienced. I was the head of finance in a small media house in France, and it was
Okay.
in 2001 to 2003. It's quite a long time ago, but anyway, it was the most forming challenge,
Mm-hmm.
and revenue dropped by 60% at that time. Yeah. So I was in a foreign country. I speak French, but I'm not perfect in French. I was 29 years old, and I had to manage with the CEO of that company not getting bankrupt. So this was very challenging. We really had to manage around and to restructure the whole company in very short term. So this was the most challenging time. We had to talk to the workers' council. We had to talk to suppliers, to vendors, so to shareholders, to banks, so all over. This was very challenging. After that, there were a lot of other challenging situations, of course, but this was the all including
The
challenge at that
forming challenge. I like the word,
time.
the word you
And
use,
also
forming
the
challenge.
individual part. So if you're more experienced manager and you survived some crisis, you're more calm. You know you can survive. Yeah.
Sure,
But this was
sure.
the first real big challenge that formed me a lot.
I had a similar experience, and I call it like an emotional slap.
Yeah,
That you
yeah,
wake up and you say, "Okay, now I'm
yeah.
ready for life."
Also, yeah, there is, I guess everybody needs these experiences, right?
I think
First
so.
time when
Yeah.
you get away from your parents for a long time, or sometimes, for example, me, I lost my dad when I was 24. So these are important milestones in your life that
Mm.
form your personality. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. What would you say was your biggest lesson learned from that forming challenge?
Pardon for what? For talent?
For this forming challenge that you just share, what is the main lesson learned you take from it?
The lessons learned is that I didn't ask for enough advice. I didn't ask for enough support. So this leads back to what we were talking about a couple of minutes ago. I
Sure.
was a young manager, and I thought I have to prove that I make it. Yeah,
Uh,
because so much trust was put into me, and I thought I have to manage myself. I didn't tell also my boss and my organization that I'm in trouble, that it's getting too much. I made this too late, and that means that I made some mistakes, which made the
mm,
situation more complicated, which I could have avoided. This is a very tempting mistake I see with many
mm,
people,
mm,
and this is also what a very important lesson learned in managing people is that when I see that people have trouble to solve topics, I ask them, I encourage them to admit that there's a problem, yeah, or they have trouble, and that it's not a problem. You're not a tough person or a tough manager if you struggle on your own and at the end you fail. It needs some courage to admit that you need support, but this is what it's about, and you have to encourage people, especially young people, to ask for the support, because young people, they want to prove themselves, and everybody wants to get over difficulties and to prove that they can make it. But nowadays, topics are so complex, you cannot know everything, and there
impossible.
are experienced people around you. So it means that encouraging people And also, when I think about it, another lessons learned, Yoshi, and I really encourage everybody who listens to this podcast to
Yes.
invest in their network. So communicate, go out, post on LinkedIn, not too much that it get distracted. But I have so many awesome contacts like you. I mean, you contact me on LinkedIn, right? And now we're here in Fortaleza. How amazing is that? Yeah. So invest in your network, and you get support if you need it. It's not only about support, by the way. So maybe let me do this remark. If you only build up your network for having somebody to ask something when you need it, this is not a network. So a real network is really it's liking the people, it's having things in common, and not only communicating when you need something, so that when you need something, the people can help you, and that also means that you have to be with them when they need you. It's not a one-way street. It's always a two-way street.
Yeah, it's a relationship. Very good. Thank you for that. I think that was very, very valuable, Bernhard.
You have a very good question. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. We have 3 minutes left. So I was wondering if there is something you want to share, Bernhard, that we haven't covered so far.
Of course. Also an experience. I really encourage everybody to take every chance you have in life. Don't limit yourself in your head. There is Thor Heyerdahl. I'm not sure you know him. He was a crazy German guy. He proved that Polynesian people could make the passage from South America to Polynesia to Asia. And he built a boat, and with the same principles as the people at that time, and I don't know, 800 or many years ago, 100,000 years ago. And he said he'd never traveled a lot in the world, and he said he'd never seen any limits than in heads of people.
He never
so pardon?
Yeah, can you repeat that?
Thor Heyerdahl. I guess he's a Norwegian.
No, the last words he said. He never seen so many.
He never seen limits than in the heads of people.
I love that. Yeah, it's true. You know, that's why I do what I do. Bernhard.
right. And everybody has these limits because we have our education, we have our environment, and so on. But if you take chances, if you're prepared and you take chances, then you will seize things. And if you don't like them, then you know that you don't like them. But if you don't try it, you'll never find out. Yeah, you stay in your comfort zone. So get out of your comfort zone, be adventurous, be a little bit daring, and then you will discover a world you not even knew that it exists. And the best example is us. I mean, how crazy is that? You contact me, I was in Germany, and by chance, I'm here in Fortaleza now. And we met for lunch last week.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, and we came across in Beremak as well. I was wondering, you know, I love this idea of experience. It's something I believe too, and I try to, you know, increase my comfort zone. So I was wondering, Bernhard, do you have any advice for people to do that, or how do you do it?
You have to be open-minded, and the best advice, Yoshi, and I'm really fascinated also what you are doing. I mean, our lunch was great, and you're so adventurous, and maybe I should do a podcast with you that people know more about you. But it's really travel. Traveling is the best tool against narrow-mindedness. If you travel, you see other people, be open, admire what other people do, admire other cultures, be open to accept that other people, other cultures act in a different way that you might be used to. And then you will discover a new world, and this enriches your life. This is a very strong advice. Travel as much as you can. And traveling is cheap. You don't need fancy hotels. My son he went with a camping van, and he visited so many places in France he'd never seen before. Yeah, just travel. Get every chance to travel, and don't travel in hotels. Travel in hostels where you meet people. Meet as many people as you can.
I love it. Thank you so much. I feel very connected with that.
I can
So,
imagine. I can imagine.
Bernhard, I would like to ask you the last question, if that's okay.
Okay,
Yes?
sure.
Yeah.
I
If
love
you
it.
could leave some last words to the whole world, what it would be?
Trust yourself,
Mhm.
be curious, and get it done. And
I
if
love
you
that.
if you check my WhatsApp profile, my saying is
Uh-huh.
also feel, think, act. So you have to feel what's good for you. You have to think about it because sometimes you feel crazy things, and then to act.
Uh-huh. I love it. Thank you so much. We can leave it like that, Bernhard. It's been beautiful interview. Thank you so much for your time. Yeah, keep in touch for sure.
Thank you, Yoshi. I really admire your effort and your adventurous tasks.
Mhm.
Thank you very much for
My
your
absolute
time
pleasure.
and picking me for this wonderful podcast. Thanks a lot. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you,
Have a great
Bernhard.
day.
You too. All
Bye
the best.
bye.
Bye bye. Bye.